Right, talking about hard golf courses, the Blue Monster at Doral. So, Liv have announced the Jules. Now, this is a rival to the PGA Tour's Creator Classic. It's going to see 6 creators. So you've got Wes and George Bryan, got Grant Horvat, Fat Perez, Luke Wan, and Rick Shields. They're teaming up with 6 Liv players. It's going to be 9-hole scramble. There's a 250k prize pool. And the creators are going to get kind of paid to be there. Interestingly, is the first one is going to be hosted on Grant's channel.
Yeah.
Not on like the Liv channel, which
that was strange.
It's not live either. So it's going to be like edited and an actual YouTube video.
Oh.
Good luck with that edit.
So, I mean, I imagine he's probably going to get help from
I would say so.
the Liv team. So there's a lot to kind of unpack here. I think, obviously, we've had the Creator Classic. We've had 2 iterations of that. So Tour Championships last year, which we played in. The first one at Sawgrass, which Grant won, who's on just an absolute YouTube heater right now. And then you've got the next one, which is in Philadelphia, which we're kind of on the fence about going to. And then this one prior to that, which is going to be at Doral with Liv. As a concept, you had 2 choices. Try and like remove yourself from this situation. You're just a YouTube golf watcher. You had 2 choices of which video to watch.
Yeah.
And it's in its format. So one's live, Creator Classic, and then one is like an edited video.
How long is it?
And with all these people in there. I've no idea. 9 holes, you'd imagine it's probably going to be about the same time, maybe a bit shorter. So like, I think Creator Classic's about 3 to 4 hours. This is probably about 2.5, 3.
Okay.
Which one are you going to sit down and watch?
Thumbnails both the same?
I'm watching the Jules.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching the Jules. I think the combination of the pro creator blend probably entices me in a little bit more because you're getting best of both worlds in that situation. Obviously, in the most Liv possible way, it's this throwing the money number again of like, oh, it's how much money. I don't think people are going to be seeing that and going, oh, God, I'm so glad that Rick and Grant and everyone's going to be able to play for a bit of money because, God, they must be struggling. But
get us on there. We really are struggling.
I'll play. Then they might care.
Yeah, me and Brooks Koepka can win the money. Don't know how many of my shots we'll use.
And I think the fact that it is a edited video maybe might help a little bit. But then we have seen, with the first Q at Myrtle, like the product has to be good.
Yeah.
Because people can have high anticipation for it and be looking forward to the video. But if the product doesn't come through and it's not good, then there can be backlash. But I'm sure that they'll find a way, especially I'm sure Grant will have plenty of input as well into how that's going to go and how that's going to work.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think that it being on Grant's channel, like at the first when hearing about it, I thought that it felt a bit weird, but why wouldn't this go on the biggest channel in the world at the moment? Like this wants to go out to as many people as it can. He's averaging 1 million views every single time. So it makes sense that it could go on it. I think that, and that bit there, the idea is that each creator would host the event. Yeah. Does that mean that the next one's going to be on the Brian Bros channel?
Again, it depends on if the same creators are going to be doing it. But the idea originally is going to be that it'd be on Grant's, and next one would be on Rick's, and then it'd like be shared throughout. So
I think that's a great. I think that's brilliant. I think that that was probably something that the PGA Tour Creator Classic would probably lack, is that not very many people are watching it kind of live, if you know what I mean, just in the standard, because obviously, like I say, it's a free 4-hour product, whereas this is going to be likely an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So
it's more of a YouTube video.
Yeah, exactly, that's what I mean. And it'll probably be filmed, well, I don't know how it's going to be filmed, but is it going to be behind the ball, zoom into the things, like all those sorts of things?
Is it going to be like a golf YouTube video?
Yeah,
or is it going to be
yeah. Is it going to be a broadcast sort of thing?
Yeah.
Which I think will massively affect how it is perceived. Like going back to the Q at Myrtle Beach thing, your edit turned something that could have been a very boring broadcast into something which the audience were used to watching, which is really well filmed, well edited videos of a tournament.
Yeah.
If they do it the other way round and it's, static cams and we maybe don't get the insight that we want and we're getting different angles than we're used to and there's maybe not traces, then I think it kind of works against it in that respect.
Well, even the thing that the Jules has added as well on top is you've obviously got Bob and Joey and Andrew Santino, I think the comedian. They're all doing comms on it as well.
Yeah.
So that's another element on top of what the Creator Classic kind of side of it is. Now I know from conversations that upcoming Creator Classics, it might look that they have copied off this Jules from what I've heard that might be happening in future ones. Just to put that out there. But the thing is the PGA Tour now probably everything is always like a gauntlet thrown down They've thrown
reactionary.
They've thrown a SoFi hammer or whatever it's called. The PGA, it's almost now everyone looks to the next Creator Classic and goes, how are you going to make that better now? Which again, I suppose is a good way. It is pushing both sides. It's only going to create better products for people who actually want to watch it. And then, we'll see how this first Jules go, because I think it's going down on the 5th, right? 5th of April, I think, is the actual playing of.
Yes.
And then however long after they have to edit the video and stuff like that.
I can't imagine it'd take too long to get it out.
It's going to be a 24-hour turnaround.
Well, this is what I mean. Could it genuinely be like a broadcast production and then just put on Grant's channel? That's kind of what I'm...
I imagine so. Like, you've got a lot of people, a lot of players, a lot of shots. So, there's no way like Paul Skyler's going to be kind of like...
Can you imagine the stress?
So I imagine... Because the one thing with the Creator Classic, which I think is good, like with the live broadcast, with the tracers and all the rest of it, and how they treat it as a round of an actual tour event, I think that's good. And I think it is different visually. I think it impacts very different, but it is the length and the fact that it's not a YouTube video. Like most people watch YouTube videos because they like the people they're watching, their characters, the interaction between them, the chat, the fact that they're mic'd up.
Yeah.
That's what they prefer. I don't think they're overly bothered about seeing creators playing a tour event round. Like I think the last one at Sawgrass, the biggest criticism was the fact that it was just commentators and it wasn't the actual creators doing the chat, which I think is a big weakness, which maybe Liv are going to exploit.
Yeah.
The Jules thing does look really interesting, but the real question is, do you think that it kills the Creator Classic? And excuse me, were you invited?
Which one?
Please both.
So I think on the second point, I have had conversations with potential about going to the Jules. I think I was in the original selection and then got, I don't know, just put to the side or whatever. That's not to say that I don't know if we would have gone or not. But one of the big advantages that Liv have is you're obviously playing for a big prize pool, but then as far as the creator's concerned, you're going to get an appearance fee. Now, if you want to have the best creators at your event, you have to give them some sort of incentive. Now, with Grant, it's a bit different on this one, maybe because he's going to get this on his channel. He's probably going to do very well. The difference with the PGA Tour is obviously it's on the PGA Tour's channel. Like when we did the first event in Atlanta, we wanted to be there at the Tour Championship because it was a new thing. It was going to be cool. It was going to be excited. We did enjoy it, but we kind of ended up having to pay to be there to create this for the PGA Tour.
It felt like a bit of a...
I did use the Blackstone Grill yesterday.
No way!
Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute.
Oh my God!
But
I'd forgotten about that.
Like the one at Sawgrass again would have been quite cool, but this one at Philadelphia again, we're trying to figure out that if we go there and we actually turn it into a little bit more of a trip, again, it's probably going to end up costing us money for content that like we're not really going to have. So it does feel a little bit weird. It kind of feels like Liv have come in and said, okay, one of the weaknesses of the Creator Classic is not having all the people there that people want to watch. Like literally you got Where's George, Graham, FP, Luke and Rick. We're talking about either the biggest YouTube channel in the world. Obviously, I mean, Rick's a little bit different because he, is a Liv kind of ambassador now. But you got Luke, you got Grant, both their channels are doing really well. Wes and George doing really well. Fat Perez, fantastic personality. You know, people just want to watch him. So you've got a group of people here that people want to watch, and they have that engagement. So to have that as opposed to the Creator Classic, which I kind of fear that the Creator Classic has such a good potential. But if they're going to do it, they have to do it properly. They can't half-arse it. It's got to be like, okay, we are going to get you here. You are going to be here. Grant's going to be there. Wes, George, Brian, all these players are going to be there. So you have to watch it. And we're actually going to get you there. And if we're just having your time and not the content, then we're going to pay you to be there as well.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure.
Like, this isn't a PGA Tour event. Even if the Creator Classic had a prize pool, something, just to incentivize people a little bit more, because at the end of the day, because there are going to be celebrities at the Philadelphia one as well, and I think it's going to be like some kind of like pairs event.
Yeah,
I'm going to take a wild thrusting stab and say these celebrities aren't going to be giving up their time for free.
That is a good point.
yeah.
I hadn't thought about that.
It's you've got YouTube on board with the Creator Classic.
Yeah.
The platform that you are putting this out on, and the people that you are taking from this platform, and yet it's still just this kind of, like you say, just not taking it to its full potential of where it could go.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's a weird one, and we're in this situation now where, again, these things have accelerated and got to this point like pretty quickly. So I think there's a lot of case of people just trying to find their feet and trying to figure out the best way of doing it. But if the Jules is a massive success, then I don't know.
Also, this is completely, but what does this mean for Wes?
Tricky.
Not sure. Honestly, not sure.
Is this him just saying that he just doesn't want to be a pro anymore? I mean, that's a bit exaggerated, but like...
Or is that going to be Team YouTube on Liv next year?
I mean,
Wes, George, Grant and Luke on
to be honest,
Team YouTube?
To be honest, like, this could be... You could say if it goes really well, like, it could be used as a bit of an audition.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because Liv does have that flexibility. Again, it goes into the point of being, like Kieran mentioned with TGL, are we going for pure professional golf standards, or are we going for more entertainment?
Yeah.
Like, Wes has won on the PGA Tour, but he's kind of, he's now moved into being more of a YouTube creator. And like Grant, obviously, really the biggest name in YouTube golf at the moment, fantastic amount of views, absolutely killing it, very good player. But I doubt he's going to be able to stand up to, playing Brooks Koepka on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
So it just depends on...
But it's a good point, though, because, like, are more people going to turn on Liv because they know Wes is playing compared to Kevin Na? Like...
Again, another player who's on Liv, completely forgot about him.
Like,
I say Quan as well. I mean, Quan's
a good player.
Quan's in with the international series. Obviously, that's a Liv kind of product as well. So he's in with that sort of crowd. So that would be a great thing.
Yeah, Grant's been filming with Liv people all year. Luke's obviously doing the international series stuff. Rick's already an ambassador.
Yeah.
The Bryans and FP's not necessarily there because they expect him to go and win it. He's there because he is hilarious and really entertaining and one of the nicest dudes ever. Wes and George is the tricky one because they're both trying to play on the PGA Tour at the same time. So I think they maybe have to make a choice based on how well this goes to say I'd rather play. They're having the same dilemma that PGA Tour players were having.
The interesting thing as well is that Wes and George are on the committee of the creator, like the creator committee. So
Well, the Creator Council, where you give up your time for free to tell the PGA Tour.
Yeah. But you know what I mean?
How to make their digital product.
Does that kind of give an idea that...
And we'll host it on our channel.
Yeah, but does that kind of give an idea that there must be communication within the Liv and the PGA Tour within this? Wes can't have just gone out and... I don't know. It's
there's also talk that Wes and George might be playing in a PGA Tour event kind of soon.
Yeah. What's the pairs boy called?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Zurich Classic?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Go and watch.
I did say that.
Go and watch Peter Finch versus George Bryan from our channel, which came out a couple of days ago. Go and watch that and listen to what George said about that potentially happening.
Which this could be the starting point of for me in my head, I don't know about your guys, but like this for me is like the starting point of something where we're seeing that merge. I really do. For me, I'm just seeing if we start with the creators, because there's crossovers here with PGA Tour and Liv. Is it going to be the start to having that one tour?
I'm not sure. I think golf is just in such a weird spot at the moment, and certainly the creator side of things is continuing to go from strength to strength. But it's kind of reached this point now where, well, where's the next thing? Like, where are we going? Like, what's the idea here? Like, what do people want to watch? And I don't think anyone's really figured out the answers yet.
You have to win enough creator classic events to earn your spot at the Jules.
There might be no creators left going to the Creator Classic at this rate.
Because they're all over there.
It's interesting. I'm very excited to this. Like, if the thing for me with the Creator Classic as well is that there's a lot of, and with golf in general, there's a lot of dead space you have to fill. You know, people are walking to the ball, all this sorts of stuff. Like, there's a lot of filling time you have to do with golf. If this can be where they just cut out that dead space and it is golf, hit, you know, none of this like cutting away to things. This is a product that would be unbeatable.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, if you're gonna do YouTube video, do a YouTube video.
That's what I mean,
Make it YouTube.
Don't you know? You're not waiting 5 minutes for them to walk to the ball to the second shot. You know that, and that is the thing that makes golf hard. Like, you have to walk to shots. You know, that's what makes it a hard broadcast and a hard watch at times.
Have the players mic'd up.
Yeah, and have the players mic'd up.
In a bit again,
Golly.
the thing that creator content and way of done it now in the last like 2 years is like buggy cams and things that, you know, like when you're moving to the ball, you're not walking, you're now talking in a buggy together and all that, you know.
Or we're cutting from the second shot
straight to the next one.
To the green, you know, so there's always that engagement.
If we can get, there's two things that you spoke about, one of the things that you want to get rid of, which is the ball flying in the air shot that the tours are using.
How are we still doing this?
How we're still doing that is absolutely baffling to me. The other thing that I would love to get rid of is where they cut to a still image of the water feature on a PGA Tour event when they haven't got anything happening.
What I like about those ones, I
hate it so much. There's people out there playing golf right now.
Those cut screens where they go to the leaderboards, for whatever reason, apart from the Masters, all those cutaway screens are a bit crap.
Yeah.
Why are they such low quality?
Like, it's kind of like it's pointing at a half a water hazard with a bank.
Yeah.
And like some work going on in the background with some diggers or something. It doesn't seem to make any sense.
Very odd.
What I always find with those is I spend the whole broadcast looking at what looks like a fake alligator in the water, and I'm like, is it real? Or is it like, well, there's a duck that's like moved about half an inch. I'm like, is that there, or is it like a...
And they cut back to it later, and it's the same 15-second loop that they're using, and the duck's gone back.